Alright, Hanako. Let's see how much of a distracting factor you can be, girl. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book. But when her eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. What's up? You look like a... Why is there no sound? There should be sound. Options. Text speed. Music volume. The S-Effect selection's a sword. Alright then. It's very strange. Turn. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on lookout.
It's nothing!
I've told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position she'll find the word she's looking for.
I was in an accident.
Accident? Just now? Are you alright? Hanako shakes her head, her hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst on a background of pale and dark flesh.
No, when I was younger.
Realization. Oh my god, I get to know her story! Yes! Every time I have one of those moments, I need to turn a complete 180 away from the microphone. Like, I need to stare off.
When I was...
It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head.
No, I have to tell you. When I was young, I was in...
It's a little crayon drawing. I
was in a fire. But my house burned down and I nearly didn't make it. After that, I was alone.
Hanako's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library. I reach out to grasp her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going.
But I have to.
Why? What brought this on?
Last night, Lily told me about your heart. And I didn't think it was fair.
Fair?
That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me.
I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. Don't be silly, but yeah, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first heart attack when a girl confessed to me. I smile a little to break the tension.
Really?
Really, I haven't heard from her in a while though, so I guess it's all over. I know it's all over. There's no other way to interpret what happened the last time I saw her. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from that period in my life. So now, we both know a little bit more about each other, but you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad for even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital's disinfectant burning in the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako is going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored, so I went for a walk through all the wards. I went through oncology and thought I could take it. Then when I got to the burn ward, I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in a place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized air. The really bad cases were kept in isolated pods that no foreign objects could enter. That would have meant no reading. I would have gone insane if I didn't have books in the hospital. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. I can't imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally.
Thank you, Hisao. I haven't told many people about this.
To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either.
Then I won't tell anyone either.
Deal. Jesus, make me jump, why don't you? I change my grip on Hanako's hand in a handshake as the warning bells chime through the window. Well then, we'd better head back to class then, eh?
Sure.
And that's the act? That's the act. Act 3. Castling. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting them in the background, on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute moves, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Wait.
Mate.
Again? What does this make this? 3-2? Ah! Like the blind girl class!
Stalemates do not count.
Damn, I'm getting better at this every day. That, or she'd been holding back. I never thought it when we first met her, but she really does have a knack for the game. Chess seems to become a popular pastime for the two of us, hiding away in the tea room, playing a game of chess or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises below remind me of my life before Yamaku. Though I am by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. Fancy another game?
I have to finish my homework.
Oh well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
What about this?
Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty test board. Don't worry about that, I've got it.
Oh, okay. See you.
Later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers in the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team. Since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. But I have other reasons for that than coming here so often, and I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. Oh my god. They time skipped it, but Hanako, I'm gonna touch your butt. I'm gonna touch your butt. The small victories I feel every day as I see more and more what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside and investigate. Are you quite sure, my dear?
I'm sure. Ah, Hisao.
Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hisao is here as well. Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I've finished my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you accompany me to for tea at Shanghai. It'd be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. I'd be up to it. I think Hanako had work to do, though.
It's not all that much.
Wonderful. It seems we're decided, then. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there are only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it has been for an entire slow walk down the hill of the local town. It's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to attack her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over wherever we stand, but soon places it right back where it had been. Welcome to the Shanghai! May I take your order? She gives a deep bow, her well-delivered and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change for the norm at Yuko. Just tea, please. Hanako? Hisao? I'll have a slice of pie and a coffee.
Just tea, please.
Coming right up, sugar cubes. Please take any seat you wish and I'll be right back. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the counter, and we make our way to some empty seats by the back window in quick measure. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up between them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako is not doing something she often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pointing to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busy trying to convince herself the world around them doesn't exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed as she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering it often means dealing with the student council. And that bitch Shizune. She's here. I can smell her. Very tiring indeed.
And how do other representatives go?
Better than I, but not by much. Shizune is a massive bitch, no matter whom she deals with. Doesn't sound like you particularly relish your job. Why do you do it in the first place? It's that bad. Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just that the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It'd be hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine if anyone could make her do so, it'd be Shizune. I'm just imagining the Queen of England just straight up fucking cursing. It's like,
That damn dirty Shizune! I have every mind to throw her in the dungeon and beat her fucking shitless with my cane. And then I shall release the Doge, and they shall devour her.
oh wait, no, Doge is a Shibi. It's a Shibi. The Queen has corgis. Ah well, close enough. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako?
But I'll be back in a bit.
With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose there's one way to deal with the situation. That was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was you. But I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended, and by now I really shouldn't be so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie, and a steaming mug of coffee appear before us. I notice that Yuko is taking special care to place a teacup at the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go, Sugar Q. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you, my dear. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Oh, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and that'd be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday is soon. I suppose it'd be a nice chance to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression, and I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside the chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. If you got any plans what to do for her birthday, a party or anything? Hanako being Hanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be. Lily cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why she brings a teacup to her lips against a sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed, if it is the sound of the restaurant door opening that tips her off. Hanako takes her seat once more, and thinks no time in drinking her tea. Soon the 3 of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it really makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to take like life here, as isolated as it is. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table where the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter for my tastes, but it's still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. The girls' discussion is based mainly on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about the related topic. Hey, Hanako, I was wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking completely surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes her a little while to formulate a response.
I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much.
Singing is not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know all this, and she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now.
Well, what about you?
Me? She hesitated before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also, there was football as well, but I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up at the hospital, and this is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako took a bit off by the direction this is taking. The more I think about it, the more I am, too. It sounds as if you've picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things getting worse. That, or physically retreating. A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious as sounds coming from her phone. Sorry.
It's okay.
Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the cell call a little distance away to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice being popular. Hanako smiles and doesn't keep the hook up for further discussion. I just end up sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing the best I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it'd be like growing up somewhere like this, rather than in the city.
You come from the city?
Looks like I found something else she wants to talk about. Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through.
It sounds like a lot changed.
It did. I'm not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamaku, right? I imagine most new students would.
Not really.
Hanako gazes a little bit to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tilt my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds pass with no further answer. But can't we deal with that on Monday? The fallout is already settled on the last... I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Yes, thank you. I'll talk to you later then. Goodbye. Lily's conversation ends with a snap of her phone closing. She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Need to go? Unfortunately, class representative work calls once again.
I can come with you.
It's alright, Hanako, my dear. I'll just be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Besides, if you were to accompany me on my way back to the school, who would keep our poor Hisao company?
Okay.
I can join you for tea again later tonight if you'd like. I may well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill, gives her regards to Yuko, and then takes her leave. And then, we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and I alone to have some time together, but it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I've never thought of myself as a scary person, but to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me instantly self-aware, as if it's my fault she's so troubled. She might get more used to people if she would just stop being so cloistered in Yamaku, but then, when even people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she may as well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22. If she stays at Yamaku, she won't get used to socializing, but if she leaves, any effort she might try would get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring. Well, want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner, after all. Hanako brightens and nods vigorously, glad I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze, and she dutifully comes over to take her orders. Do you like something else, Sugar Cube? I'll just have a sandwich special and a hot chocolate. Bit late for coffee by now. Hanako?
I'll have the same.
With a nod and a bow, Yuko turns on the ball of her feet and turns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working the machine to make her drinks. Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it may be. It tastes nice, as does most of the food here. After a few mouthfuls, I notice something's missing, namely, the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not hungry? She shakes her head from side to side. Even as she does, the patch of hair she keeps over the right side of her face does its job in hiding it almost entirely.
It's not that.
Oh, I was ready to have your share as well.
You look troubled. Is something wrong?
I'm startled by her thinking that I am the one who looks troubled, but on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing, and she's hardly a dim person, quite the opposite. Unlike a certain fucking pixie bitch we know. We're friends, right?
Friends.
The tone in her voice and her shrinking posture, it looks as if I've hit yet another landmine. This is another reason why interacting with her is difficult. The self-imposed psychological barriers she puts up between herself and others, including me, most likely even Lily. It's a shame that...
I think that we are.
I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer. All the more so since I was about to give up on getting a reply at all. Way to go, Hanako. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Fight that shyness. I see.
Am I wrong? Sorry, I...
No, it's just hearing confirmation from that from you is just reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate to others. I find myself chuckling a little. Surprising how much relief that was. I could feel my face smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. Ouch, that's hot!
That's why. That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first.
I guess I'll wait as well then. Both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, it feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we're both a little bit wound up with each other. I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong, it took me a minute to remind me I was uneasy as well. But be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that, in her own way. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill to the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves in between the two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that may arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives a quickest nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she even has a chance to cover it. I have little doubt she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako.
Good night.
We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory building, disappearing through the door. These little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing was sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around so few people. I wonder about these feelings I have when Hanako's around, and when I'm able to do things for her, whether they may be the seed for something beyond what we share now. This is very good acting practice, by the way. Because a while ago I started, trying to match the tone, will I say, instead of just giving them silly voices. Oh! Tink Tink! I get the feeling we're gonna meet Tink Tink. And we can catch her up, be like, hey, Tink Tink, hey! How you been? I've been hanging out with Blind Girl and Scar Girl. How you doing, Tink Tink? How you doing, Tink Tink? How you doing?